probably just thinking like, you know, if we get this inch, they're going to go IO gyro.
And they banned the shaker too, so
yeah,
now that's not available.
So the funny thing is, though, it is in some ways, but on the other hand, when you have that long-range initiation, that Earthshaker Kunkka combo that they had in the last draft, that can initiate deep into the team fight, catching the Wisp with the tail end of those stuns, all of a sudden the Wisp feels very vulnerable to the burst damage unit chain.
I would be so fine with a Kunkka first phase here, honestly. Like the flexibility of that as a support too.
Well, you knew when you were taking Wisp that was going to be the price of admission.
All right, the Enchantress once again going in favor of PSG LGD as we hear cheers for No Tail.
The other hero we have yet to see appear yet is Drought Ranger. That was featured very prominently in some of the earlier rounds of the main stage, but hasn't come up here in the Grand Finals.
Potential counter. So worried about the IO gyro counter. They're going to have that morph ready. They're going to steal the flat cannon.
This is a team that is stealing itself right now. It's a first phase morphling here.
I feel like you go away from the gyro and they go to the And they kind of get the favorable carry matchup. It's something I know, like some of the players backstage, people were saying, it's not really about the carry matchups anymore. You need to make sure you have a good lane. So you can't just pick this PL thinking it's going to counter a Morphling. You need to make sure he has a good lane. It is one of the best heroes against Ench, actually. I think it's much more picked against the Ench than the Morphling, the lane matchup. With all the agi you get from your Phantom Rush, you've got the nuke as well. PL does seem like one of the better heroes against Enchantress.
Yeah, we can take care of that Alchemist right away, too. The Earthshaker's already gone, so a couple of heroes that PL does not enjoy playing up against too much.
Maybe even bad in the Kunkka, too. That's a hero that matches up well against most of Thompson's mids.
I am so down with that. I actually thought that the first phase Kunkka by Trent could have been a sick call. I'm so down with banning Kunkka. Also, you think about banning Phoenix after that last game, honestly. And they're so, LGD correctly now focusing on that Thompson hero pool. Would not be surprised to see the Evoker taken out.
Yeah, I mean, they focused on several. Arc Warden has come out a couple times. The Pugna, the Monkey King, of course, last game being banned out. Will OG take out the Kunkka here?
It's also still the Ursa play, too. Someone who's looked very good versus the PL. There are some questions in terms of like being kited. It depends on the IO pairing, too.
And Sev has played the Ursa at that offlane position, so that's definitely an option for OG. That's a hero that I think could have a lot of impact in this game.
OG taking some of their time to figure out how this next phase is going to play out.
It's tough. They wish they had like 3 or 4 bans here. They'll ban the Storm, you know, like there's still Kunkka, there's still Phoenix.
There's
they know
still
there's
Lynx, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of scary heroes.
Too many.
But after that initial display from LGD where they showed they're willing to first to pick a Storm, it's probably worth banning against them.
Yeah. No, it's just it's a theory that holds in a lot of other sports. You try to never get beat the same way twice.
So LGD have a relatively easy second phase here. Basically, just going to reveal both of their supports and then look for that 10th pick for maybe in the end. Hence why OG using some of their bans for it. All of the top tier supports still left in besides the Silencer. We still have the Bane if they want that versus the IO +1. We still have the Vengeful Spirit as well.
That's kind of a nice position to be in where you're just picking supports here because you have the last pick of the draft. You don't want to get into this second middle stage and you picking cores and having them get counter-picked along the way. So they're going to just basically set themselves up to get this 10th pick maybe hero that's going to have a great game.
PSG LGD once again continue to focus on the Thompson bans with that Pugna coming out. Now their turn to pick their next hero. Yeah,
that would be one of those cheekier strats that I alluded to before. This idea, like they use this early sustain of the Pugna, healing up the IO, who's then tethering the Pugna. It's like instant health and mana, and then they use that to sustain pushes early on in the game. Very frustrating to deal with.
Yeah. Expect to see support here. The Venge is still in the pool, of course. We did see by X Nova.
Yeah, Venge, another one of those heroes that we talked about, right, where so much prominence earlier on in the international, and then hasn't had as much priority, but definitely a good showing in the last game.
Okay, not the most common hero versus PL, obviously. There's some disadvantages there because you can just doppelganger up over the ice shards.
No, but it's the same. It's not quite the same theory, but it's similar to the Earthshaker idea.
The Enchantress right click, probably see that like Blightstone build on her, and Snowball then as well as a way to stop TPs and gap close.
So how do you guys feel about this Chen pick? Because it does give you a support duo that's extremely low on disable.
Yeah, I think it's
that's
good.
been a big problem.
It secures your safe lane though. Like you got to give this PL a better lane. I think Chen has shown that he's one of the best supports to secure the safe lane. He's not this game influencing hero he used to be that pushes all your towers and wins you the game like at 20 minutes by just pushing everything, but he does give you a better early game.
Yeah, but it feels to me right now that the last two picks from OG need to answer this team fight potential on the LGD side. They need to have some transition out of the laning phase.
I think that's where we may see something like the Centaur come back for Seth. You're ever going to kill him. Right now, these three heroes do not ever pose a threat to kill him Morphle.
Is that what you really want? Is your leading stun though? Centaur?
Yeah.
Like,
so the animation is just terrible.
I mean, maybe if they
even
lose
with
the waveform key on the keyboard or something, you may not be able to escape, but like, my God, not the best initiator.
Oh, you're on today, Troy.
Well, PSG LGD, what are they looking for here? Another support?
I also feel the 8th pick is more likely going to be a mid for OG because they're going into the double pick, so you may as well pick Tops and Sirius first.
The thing you don't want banned.
Yeah. But
I like how you can go like a greedier ranged hero when you have a Tusk. Because Tusk doesn't necessarily need too much. But okay, they really want that Brewmaster. All right. So that means it's probably support Ench then?
Again, we just talked about the same thing previous game. It's the potential for outplay from the 3 and the 4 position is now so there for LGD, right? I mean, what are you going to do as a Chen or an IO to counter the kind of team fight potential?
Yeah, this is a great pick because it deals with the Phantom Lancer while also still having that strong lane. This is also why Enchantress is such a great opening pick because it can be pushed onto the 5 position role. That's something OG themselves have done and something X-Nova is very comfortable playing as well as a 5.
If you just look to hunt down this IO every fight too, right? Just toss him up the Cyclone. Suddenly this major key of your draft from OG, your first overall pick, can just feel completely worthless.
And not just the IO, but a lot of the tanky frontliners like the Centaur that we thought about are vulnerable to the exact same thing, getting tossed up.
All right, it's game time.
Oh yeah, all right.
Coming back.
Look, you got to the final of TI with this hero.
This is some set Nix or something that they want here, I feel like.
Please ban Kunkka though. I think they're going to learn their lesson and ban Kunkka. Don't give BB another chance. Yeah. But I love it. You know, Thompson, put him on one of his signature heroes, put him on one of his best heroes in your elimination game. This is the way to go out. Or take a game 5, ideally.
Right. I mean, this is their shot, right? So give him what he's comfortable with. Had a rough game, but it's great to see that they have the confidence, despite that early game, to come back.
There's the Centaur.
Wow. They will remove it, though.
Do you go back? Do you go back to the Underlord here for some?
Oh, I don't like that hero.
They need a stun.
Yeah.
I mean, the hero feels really bad.
Slow.
You need like a tanky frontliner, right?
Kind of. You need a way to start a fight too. Invoker kind of gives you that with the way he plays the Quaswex Invoker with the Spirit Vessel.
No, you're right.
Enigma is okay. Ooh. I mean, maybe not the biggest set hero of all time, but there's no BKB cancel just yet. It allows you to push very early if you get a lead. It can actually bully in the lane some.
But if you pick Enigma and you don't win that lane hard, like what does Enigma do in this game without a BKB?
I mean, what does any hero do in this game? Like, they have
Next question on the panel. OG.
I mean, Enigma is kind of the all-in push pick though too.
I don't know. I feel like you need some hero who can fight with this Quaswex Invoker, right? Because we're assuming like typical Invokers, what you go ahead and do is all right, an axe. That's good. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here's the problem. They don't play this X-Horde Invoker, right? You play this X-Horde Invoker, you pick a Nyx Assassin or you pick a Centaur War Runner. You go across the map, you blink, you stun strike. Wow, gold. But Quaswex Invoker, he needs someone who can actually go and fight with him in this early mid game. And so the axe will be the answer here for Seb. Definitely like it. Good pairing with the IO and available for some cheeky creep.
But it's
I keep saying cheeky, but you know the creep cutting is very good.
But that's what I was kind of wondering with this last pick. Like, you need an IO partner. You want to have good, strong lanes, and it also gives you a Morphling solution. If he's playing on too much agi, you get that blink pull with Blade Mail, you can blow him up.
You can, but I tell you what, it has the same problem as the Centaur. That the animation on that Berserker's call is pretty long.
Well, OG have made their call here in the draft. We're just waiting for PSG LGD to answer the call with the very last pick here for Game 4.
This could be your match point hero.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's wow. Okay. The Bloodseeker makes a return. We have all 10 heroes lined up. I mean, we talk so much about what OG can do. They're showing us some ideas here that they're going back to the roots. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
Thompson needs to have the game of his life.
All right, Thompson needs the game of his life. Well, this is the moment to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for Game 4. We'll have a chance to hear from Casey and the coach of PSG LGD.
357 and Helen, once again, thank you so much. Now, how do you feel about OG's draft?
他们的阵容前面输出有点低吧，然后节奏很依赖卡尔，然后觉得比较一般。
Well, for their draft, they lack damage in the early game, so and they depend on the Invoker for their tempo controlling. I think it's pretty average.
And how do you feel about your draft?
你的阵容呢？
我觉得我这个阵容如果线上能处理好点，应该没什么问题。
If we have good lanes, we're good.
Good luck. Best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to hear some insight as we get ready for Game 4. PSG LGD playing to lift up the Aegis after one more win as OG tries to make a comeback run. We'll return to our casters, Odie, Merlini, and Fob.
Thank you very much. Yes, Game 4. On their potential knockout game of the TIA Grand Finals.
Such confidence, right? Like they just lost with Chet, they just lost with PL, and they just lost with Invoker. They're like, doesn't matter. We're gonna stick with our comfort, try to just play our own game. And I like that they're at least sticking to their guns.
And LGD's coach seems super confident. He's like, yeah, no problem. I'm very happy with the draft.
So what sort of the panel talks about this offlaner, this axe that gets picked up. They were looking for a hero that sort of offers some sort of a disable. Do you think this was sort of the best option? Were there sort of other things that you're a little surprised that OG didn't prioritize over going for the axe?
I don't know if I can think anything just straight off the top of my head. I just can't remember all the bans and everything, but it's a hero that we just don't see. It's a hero we just don't see often for good reason.
I think Brew will destroy him in the team fight. You can cycle him and use it. He won't be able to get back in position. You can even cycle him during the blink blade mail call if he's prepared. And yeah, he's going to do very well in lane, I would say. And he is a decent partner with the Wisp, but he struggles a lot in the mid game.
Yeah, and even versus the Tusk too, right? In a lot of situations, if the Tusk is in a good spot, you can get the snowball saves over and over again. So yeah, we'll see how it can work out for them. But I do feel like in the lane, this X, of course, will put on a good amount of pressure.
We'll see how well Chalice is able to deal with it down there on the bottom, and what sort of lanes we do see from PSG LGD if they want to send down a support down there, or if they're going to just sack that bottom lane and leave Chalice alone.
Some friendly tipping going, some nice exchanges coming out there. As we do see, of course, Enchantress also. X-Nova playing the support Enchantress. Not something we see so often, but we have seen it relegated to that role, especially from OG.
How many chickens have died in this spot?
Got to be careful. Looks like X-Nova's not going to be patient enough. The courier's starting to move up, but he's headed away from that mid lane as he'll look towards the top, as it seems, to join forces with FY and Arme, making sure that the Morphling can find the farm against Anna's PL in this safe lane. At the same time, TP up from Jax to join in, tethers across to Anna. And this mid lane, this will certainly be the one to watch. We saw Thompson Invoker already once here in this Grand Finals, and it did not have a good time. But top lane, the shards from FY out, trapping up Jax and Notel, but Jax has got the regen. Penitence from Notel onto FY will force back the Tusk. But this mid lane matchup, should this go better for Thompson than it did when he played against Somnus' Kunkka?
Yeah, there's no way for him to kill the Force Mirror super easily, so he can actually use it this time. And I mean, he shouldn't get destroyed like last time.
It's really going to be dependent on the side lanes, right? Like if those side lanes start dropping low as soon as this Bloodseeker hits level 3, that's when you can start getting ran down very easily as an Invoker. Even with you have your Fort Spirits and everything up, it's very difficult because of that movement speed that you have. You have 282, and this Bloodseeker is going to be moving, for the most part, above 320 in this laning phase. I am a bit concerned for Thompson, but he has to be able to work really well around this Fort Spirit.
Already these early levels, Somnus playing the lane perfectly in its aggression. 8 for 3 against their 3 for 1 on these early levels in that mid 1v1 matchup.
They've got Jerax low already. X-Nova though.
Jerax so bad in the mid. X-Nova's got the fairy fire. Jerax, he will fall, but not before they get the kill on X-Nova himself. FY also potentially in trouble. Anna comes across. FY does still have a snowball. potentially unlikely to save him as Anna. Surely wants to still chase and indeed rushes forward. There's Jax with the tether. He's got the snowball to dodge the Spirit Lance at least, but FY very low. Actually gets taken down there by the blast from No-Tail's Satire Tormentor. So OG getting themselves a second kill up top.
But all those creeps side of the tower with no one farming, they actually have a double wave on the side of OG going into LGD's tower. So yeah, they lost tower and they lost the hero and they lost first blood, but I think it actually worked out quite well for them.
And we're seeing what pretty much is expected as well down on the bottom lane at the moment. Seb having that favorable matchup. 21 for 0 against the 10 for 1.
He's just creep cutting and pulling it into the jungle, so he's actually farming just a bit more than that Brewmaster. I like that Jarex instantly reacted and just went top. And let's see what they can do with this. They've got a triple wave coming under here too, so Ame might struggle a bit to get these last hits if OG plays aggressive, which they are immediately.
FY pops the shards out. Anna looking to get himself straight on top of Ame. Jarex is there with the tether onto Anna. No-Tail in trouble as the three of PSG LGD focus down the Chen and take the kill. Now with the snowball, they head over to Jarex as Anna. Jarex, they're potentially trouble. The fair fire from Jarex, healing Anna up a little bit. Jarex trying to look for the body blocks. The nuke damage from Ame not enough to kill off the PL as Jarex with the tether gets himself out as well. But mid indeed, Somnus diving in Thompson. He's got the cold snap. The tower heading into Somnus as well, but Somnus gets the final touch, gets the kill. He has got a fairy fire and stick charges as well if needed. He doesn't even need to. The Tango regen enough as Somnus gets the solo kill. Whoa! He's got his sunglasses on today.
Just too much pressure coming out up top right now. It's really hurting Thompson's lane. This Bloodseeker's almost level 5 to a level 3 Invoker.
Yeah, Thompson's just really struggling with the CS too.
Yeah.
Flowing Blade, Blood Rage is not enough. I mean, he does like the pause Wex, but he really struggles in early phases in the game.
It's just, he's sitting at like 100 damage or more on the Bloodseeker, not even including the Quelling Blade. So Thompson walks up, actually gets caught by the Blood Right.
He does. He walks into the Blood Right. Now Somnus is just looking to chase him down as, oh no! Thompson making a huge mistake in that middle lane. Top lane, No-Tail will go down. Zana, you're gonna fight back, trying to chase down FY. They get the Satire Tormentor blast. The Spirit Lance as well as FY will fall. OG get a trade up top. But that middle lane indeed at Thompson, it looked like he felt that he could move up the ramp out of the Blood Right in time. But it kicks in, and Somnus in that middle lane, keeping that edge once again against the Thompson Invoker, but this time on the Bloodseeker instead of that Kunkka from earlier.
I feel like I've seen this a few times where the Invokers will struggle a lot versus Bloodseeker because he has very little boost. He has 0 points at Wex, and he has no boost. He's actually looking like he might be going for a heal early. So.
And that's with the Bloodseeker not even having boots yet. The Bloodseeker just has 50 movement speed over you at all times. I don't know if Thompson can play in this lane. They're just going to go and kill him once more instantly as soon as he shows back up. And right away, he doesn't have TP.
Yeah, FY is in for the side. He's got a double damage ring as well. FY is there in underneath the tower, punching down Thompson. Thompson falls once again. Jarex comes in with the tether across. They're trying to find something to response, but Jarex, he's in trouble. He will live. They get the kill. FY, he'll go down as well. So OG able to strike back in that middle lane with the rotation, getting the double kill for No-Tail, but Nova walks in and gets the easiest kill of his life there onto Jarex. As they will find a trade Chalice as well, looking for this wraparound. He's got level 6, does have Primal Split available. CP back in from Thompson with the Primal Split ready to go. He looks towards Thompson underneath the tower. Thompson, he needs help, but he needs it now. Has he got any way of playing his way out of this one? He's only got points in Quad Exhaust, so no escape for Thompson. As the walk around gang from Chalice with that Primal Split successful. It's even more than successful. It's brilliant. Double kill for Chalice. As he just walks over to mid as soon as he hits 6 and gets that playoff.
What a great off-lane player. If you try and contest that, you're going to get destroyed. So he gets level 6 when the Invoker is level 4. And it's just grueling at this point.
They're taking the tower already too, so they're going to have access into the enemy jungle. They're going to have access into OG's jungle where Thompson is going to have to go to the jungle to try to catch back up here. He's level 4.
Oh man, a lot of weight is going to be on Seb. He's had this bottom lane, he's got good levels, and he's got decent farm too. He's top of the net worth this game, very close to having the Blink Dagger on top of the Ring of Health. But TPs are heading down. Somnus seeing if we can find the Rupture. Seb, oh, he goes to farm. That's going to give time for Somnus to close the gap, get the Rupture. He's still pretty beefy, but is he beefy enough? I don't think so. The shards are out, trapping him in. The spin though, the taunt, the Sunstrike, Seb, and he gets the dunk off. The snowball save wasn't in time, and Jarex, he's in with the tether. OG, they're turning this one around. They look to run down FY with the snowball
the shots already used. There's no way to escape, or maybe the Jukes. Is it enough? Oh, it is! Seb, he gets bulked. He can't get the dunk off. FY will survive.
Oh, that's his blink dagger right there.
But a very neat little play there from Seb, being able to hold his ground. The Sunstrike, the dunk just before FY could get that snowball save off. It almost looked like the Bloodseeker was brought into the snowball, but at the same time getting that dunk off Seb.
He's actually decided to go for the Vanguard instead.
Oh, despite having the money.
Yeah, just wanting to tank up a bit more, I guess.
I mean, as we saw in situations like that where he's getting beaten down by the Bloodseeker, certainly will have that extra bit of time for Jarex to come in with those sort of plays.
He's still going to get that blink at a very fast time, and they're going to really need him to make plays all around the map, because we already see PL's getting outformed a bit by the Morphling. The Bloodseeker to the Invoker comparison is crazy. And I mean, Chalice has a blink already, so he's going to be the one making tons of moves around the map, and Sebastian has to match it.
This Bloodseeker certainly going to become a big issue unless Seb can come in with the plays.
And Thompson's, he's full committed on Exord for now. He is 3 points in, not having any in Wex.
Ame has to be careful that they do have those deep wards down, and he was walking around on 1 HP, so he has to be aware of the Sunstrike potential coming from Thompson. Seb down bottom. He's getting hunted, but he's out with the TP. Back up towards the shrine. Gives him a tip on the way out as well. So it's better luck next time. As PSG LGD are now in position, though, to push down on the bottom lane. Chalice not quite got the mana for the primal split. He does now with the bottle charges, so he's ready to go, ready to fight if OG do head down bottom. But it's top lane, in fact, where Ana and Jarex are placed, and it looks like OG are unlikely to come down to here, at least before Seb has his Blink Dagger finished.
OG's not able to really set up to push towers too well. They've got a chance. They want to be able to take some more building advantage versus LGD's lineup, but it's LGD constantly knocking on their buildings.
And they're also under leveled on the side of OG, really struggling. That Invoker to level 6, Chen's still level 4, as is the IO.
So much weight gonna be in his Axe's shoulder. Find play after play around the map to get. The thing is that that's the one thing that they can do, right? If once that Axe gets Blink Dagger, the way to get Thompson back in the game is Sunstrike kills. He has to get the last hits with that Sunstrike.
And it is really quick iron timing from Seb. 9 minutes in, he's going to have the Blink Vanguard done. So he really does have to make something happen with this. If he's unable to do something with this timing, it's going to cost the team a lot. They prioritize giving Seb that safe lane on the bottom, where he's been able to farm up 9 minutes in, Blink and Vanguard. He has to make the plays happen.
And there's also smoke on the courier, so they can immediately go for that and see what their target is. Brewmaster looks like he's in a pretty good position to break it, just in case, but they're eyeing up maybe in the mid lane.
Top Ana, Jarex heading over to Chalice. He's in, he's ready with the counterplay, past the primal split. Ana and Jarex in a lot of trouble as Jarex gets focused down by the primal split. They've got the snowball in onto Ana. Back up his inbound. Seb, he's on the side. Can he look for the play? Jumps in, gets the call. The Sunstrike down as well as Ana's back in. They get the dunk off. They'll kill off FY. But now Ana and Seb, they've got to somehow get out of it. Ame into the axe form, manages to punch down Ana. Seb's in trouble too. He looks for another call off. Can he get the spins? That's the question. Jarex goes in. He's giving him the regen and the spins. The dunk. Seb gets the second. He finds the double kill as Jarex will be fine, and so will Seb. Seb gets sent back by No-Tail, and TP's back in straight away. He wants to keep this fight going. We'll see if he finds another opportunity to get another blink off. Tries to go for X-Nova, but X-Nova just out of range still. The Spirits hitting into him. They'll chase down. Do they have the damage to burst him? The Culling Blade just enough to bring him down, so he gets bursted by the Sunstrike. OG certainly showing signs of being able to utilize this axe to take the fight against PSG LGD.
Some small signs of life. Thompson, thankfully, I actually like that. That dunk is great. Sure, he doesn't get the last hit, but it gives it to the Invoker. He needs to get these kills to catch back up in levels in particular. Because the gold wasn't so much that the Invoker got, but it's all about getting levels up on this hero right now.
Yep, exactly what Seb needed to do to push his team back in the game. And now Invoker feels comfortable enough to go for that Midas. And another death on the Morphling side too. I'm not exactly sure what he was an axe. He was as Axe and then just got obliterated. I don't know if it like ran out iteration.
Yeah, it did look like he did shift back into his into Morphling in time. He just got Seb caught him off guard, I guess. So we have 2,500 gold ensembles. He hasn't quite picked anything up just yet. Maybe wanting to decide if he wants to be the one that goes for the Radiance. Because I did see Chalice queued up earlier, but I think they're kind of debating who's going to get it at a better timing versus this Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Bloodseeker goes for here. Blade Mail is so-so, but I think the axe just causing tons of vision.
That's right, they got the call off Chalice. It's going to be fine though. FY's in with the snowball, buying time. Now Chalice looks to turn towards Jarex. Jarex is going to relocate back on his second. In fact, they get the call, they get the kill. They get the dunk off onto Chalice, they get the dunk off onto the Nova.
And up top.
Oh, they're finding more maybe. Jarex, Hand of God, keeps it safe for now. Somnus is back in, finishing off the kill, but Seb jumps in, has the call. Have they got the damage? Yes, they do. Sebastian Debs up and down the map, getting these kills, making it happen with the Axie 601, utilizing that 9-minute Blink Dagger and Vanguard to perfection.
He is coming in so clutch. During all this, Thompson is just sitting in the triangle of the dire jungle, farming, while Sebastian just runs around and makes play after play after play. They bring back the relocate with that axe top, and it seems like it catches LGD a little bit off guard.
With this space, as you say, he's very close to the Midas, Thompson.
Yep. Level 9, Bloodseeker level 11, quite a recovery.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared for the cores of LGD now. I mean, looks like Bloodseeker going for the Shadow Blade, maybe potentially a Silver Edge later, but it's still going to be very tough. They kind of just have to ignore this axe and hope that the Brewmaster finds him before he can get that jump.
2K lead now for OG. We say with that Midas on Thompson, as long as they can keep making the space for him, he's going to be able to farm at a pace that will allow him to catch back up with the cores of PSG LGD.
On OG, they have a lot of ways. With the axe, they have so many ways. It's actually like a team fighter and also a pick-off hero. While in LGD, their team fight is pretty reliant on the Brewmaster having his ulti up. Besides that, they're just a lot about pick-offs. So OG does have a little bit of a window here with this level 13 axe.
The reveal of Somnus, straight in onto Ana. Ana's got the doppelganger, gets himself out of the blood right, goes for the TP away, but the snowball's there from FY. Quick uppercut to finish off Ana at the same time down bottom. They get the call, the Sunstrike. It does not look like it's nearly enough damage though to bring him down as the stick charges come out, and so do the TPs. The counterplay being looked for Chalice, trying to find Seb. Seb is going to blink up in a second, and does it get off? The clap was there. Chalice able to cancel the blink, but Jarex comes through. Seb trying to fight back, he's got the call. Can he get the sprint off in time into the dunk? The stick charges though, keep Chalice safe, allow him to get the sprint off at the same time in the jungle. FY and Arme, they've found No-Tail. They'll be able to pick off the gen to the side as Arme in the Axon gets the call, controlling No-Tail. The Cyclone from Chalice throwing Seb up, but they won't look to fight into him anymore. Seb will be fine. It's No-Tail to fall there off the back of that play. But both cores again of LGD keeping themselves alive. They Chalice with the clutch stick play there as he was very close to getting burst down by the Culling Blade.
Looks like they're trying to set up on top, some on top.
Ame going for it early, Morbid Mass, so he can stay sustained in that. And also, later on, he could build onto a very useful item versus that axe. Because you expect that the axe is going to have a blade mill pretty early in this game, and Morphling very susceptible to a blink axe.
Jarex, that's the bait play. They get the call onto the two of them. Seb jumps in, the stun strikes down, the stun as well, the micro play. They've got the lockdown onto both of them. Somnus falls as well. No-Tail with his army of creeps, holding them down, getting the 2 kills.
They just can't fight into Seb right now. He's everywhere. He's at bounties, he's all around the map with a relocate, and every time they find him, they lose.
And that blade mail's getting dangerously close as well for Seb.
He can kill the Bloodseeker as well as the Morphling pretty much any time that he finds them around the map with his blade mail.
And they just don't have enough damage from him. Like, he's not going to be running around with Rupture, and Enchantress isn't going to be hitting him when he has a blade mail on. Morphling doesn't have enough items, so he's still going to be a threat for some time to come. And Brewmaster ult is very long cooldown relative to how often Seb can initiate.
Fine. He's going to be drawn back very, very far there. Seb blinks away as FY now surrounded as the relocate comes through. Ana Jarex in to pick up the kill on FY.
4K gold advantage, a 6,000 experience advantage, and this is just OG running around his 3 or 4 heroes, while Thompson is so happy now.
He's climbing back into the game.
Recovered.
He absolutely has. He's now level with the farm of Arme's Bloodseeker, and down bottom again, Seb finding the opening to make these plays happen as Somnus found out in the jungle. Seb 7-0-4 on his axe.
And he wants to keep going. Ame shown his face in mid. It starts to strike more. Call off more.
Space is there for them to push down on this tier 1 mid. TP coming in from Chalice. He's got the Primal Split available. Arme looking to kick the fight off. Waveforms for it. Chalice jumps in with the clap. Holding off on the Primal Split for now. Now lets it out. Seb tries for the call, but the Primal Split's already there. X-Nova with a wrap around. The impetus onto No-Tail. No-Tail's gone. Cyclone sending Seb out of the fight at the moment. Up into the air. Arme in the air tries to surround, but Seb gets the blink off. Away from Arme. The shards are down. Seb tethered up by Jarek. Seb walking back in. Tries for the call. FY goes for the snowball across towards Jarek. But now the TP. Thompson's in, looks for the combo onto Arme, but Arme is back into the Morphling, starts to attribute shift back into strength. FY uppercut on Thompson, Jarek tethers across, keeping this is man alive as Anna, running herself away from Chalice. Chalice trying to find Jerax as Jerax is into the trees. We've got Seb as well, looking for Somnus, but Somnus has the damage. They're on top of Jerax. Somnus gets the triple kill, maybe even more as Anna now all alone. No-Tail's trying to come across to help him. Anna turning towards Nova. He's stuck in there with him as Anna will possibly find over. He does. He's going to have Doppelganger back up in a second, but the Blood Bright, is it there in time? It's not. Doppelganger's back up. He could jump out. Looks towards Chalice. Spirit Lance finishes Chalice off. Anna gets another. Somnus did find No-Tail, but Anna's still going. Can Somnus kill her? The Doppelganger's there. Anna trying to phantom rush himself away, but Somnus able to change the diffusal lane onto the side of FY with the shards. Shoves an Igloo into the backside of Anna as he takes him down.
What a comeback there from LGD from the start of the fight. Pretty interesting stuff to point out too. I saw Chalice jump. You saw he hesitated on his ulti. He actually killed the creep, hit level 12, skilled up the Primal Split, so when he went in, he actually had the higher level of the ult, so he got a Cyclone in the back on the Phantom Lantern, delayed the fight a bit, but Ana showed up with